Whoa! Welcome to the What's Already podcast, where we fashion ourselves television judge and jury. My name is JJ Crowder. I'm here with my co-hosts Mattson.
Better red than dead.
And Alec Burgess.
Oh, let's get this over with.
That's how bad this shit is. He doesn't even get his normal intro. We appreciate you tuning in. Go ahead, hit that like, follow, subscribe button. Tell all your friends about us. Hit the bell notification button so if you're watching on YouTube, so you can keep up with all of our episodes. Yeah, we're here to talk about She-Hulk season 1 episode. Are we up to 6?
Boo!
Was this episode 6? I don't even know.
Episode 6.
Episode 6. I can't keep track because I'm fucking bored. Yeah, She-Hulk season 1 episode 6. The obligatory wedding episode.
Get worse as they go.
Yeah, there was like a middle one that I was like, I see hope, and now they've just shit completely all over it.
I'm looking at episode 1 going, can I have that back?
When you start with what you just said, JJ, where the show is basically saying, hey, this is a filler episode because that's how weddings are, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
So what now? Like, I should just turn this off because I don't need to watch this?
Should have.
Oh, yeah. If it weren't for this podcast, I would have stopped watching this episodes ago.
And here's the problem. This would have been a super funny joke if the last episode had a cliffhanger ending with something important, or they gave us something important.
Yeah.
I would have laughed and be like, oh, that's dirty, but it's funny.
Yeah. Or if they ended... Yeah, if they had ended last week's the way they ended this week's with like the ominous laboratory and the big giant ass needle that they were putting instead of the one that bent, like, and then we had a wedding episode with that fourth wall break. You're right, Alec. That would have been hilarious. I would have still been pissed, but it would have been hilarious the first
funny
5 minutes in. Yeah.
But no, instead we just get a filler episode for a filler show.
Yeah. Oh, it was terrible.
Awful.
And then they shit all over what is one of She-Hulk's main comic villains. Like, really? She trips on some ice and breaks her freaking veneers out, like, and then runs away. This is
humiliated from social media.
Yeah, I mean, Titania is her. It's like her nemesis villain in the comics. Like, and now she's just a waste.
Ruined forever.
And it was a halfway decent fight for 30 seconds.
Yeah. She-Hulk threw one punch.
Yeah. It's dumb. Though the best part was when she stomped the ground and sent her flying through. I thought that was cool. And then it was bad. And what's with their like friend? Like, really? You're going to stay at that wedding when they're making you clean up like some sort of maid or like iron the freaking groomsmen's shirts? Like, fuck off. I'm not doing that.
Have the balls to walk away. Screw you.
So
This is why I don't go to weddings or funerals. They're the worst.
You're a high-paid superhero lawyer. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah.
Stop being a people pleaser.
This was the worst episode of this show, and that's saying a lot because there's been some bad ones. Not to mention, don't tease freaking Charlie Cox and Daredevil if you're not going to put him in the next episode.
No, that's just
I was pissed. Well, and the worst, I love even the side story of Mr. Immortal. What the shit was this? I don't understand what they're trying to do.
Who's the actor who plays Mr. Immortal? I think I've seen him in other stuff, right?
Could be. I have no idea who that was.
He seemed familiar. And he was kind of funny.
When he jumped out the window and he proved that he couldn't take confrontation. I was like, oh, fair point. I see what you're doing here.
His MO is hilarious because he's indestructible and he can't stand confrontation. So he just kills himself to get out of it.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. But played alongside the absolute shit that is this show, it just makes it annoying instead of funny.
Yeah.
I just get mad at these punchlines and these jokes.
But didn't the end of the show with that website, they're trying to give us something that's going to get us to like a villain or a cause of some point at the end here?
No, it's going to be cyberbullying. Is what we're going to.
I think you could joke all you want with that, because what the show is currently doing, like, yeah, it doesn't leave you much faith.
No faith at all.
Yeah,
this show is going to go anywhere relevant.
I try to defend it. Sometimes I can't. I have no defense of this hot garbage at this point. And Mr. Immortal, like, the only thing that was funny about him for me was knowing his character in the comics. Like, he's the leader of the worst fucking superhero group on the planet called the freaking Great Lakes Avengers. Like,
not the Avengers?
No, they might as well be the Avengers. They're terrible, dude. Like, here's the lineup of this group. It's Mr. Immortal, Flatman, Doorman, Big Bertha, and Dinosaur. Oh, don't forget Leatherboy. Like, it's a terrible group. So it's funny as balls that, like, and he's a horrible hero, but what was going on around him, like the whole bevy of wives, and it was dumb. It just made no sense. And then you're in the middle of this showdown of him not being able to leave until they settle it. And then you cut back to like this weird sitting on a table, giving each of them like this personalized settlement, including an apology, looking them in the eye for 20 seconds. I was like,
eye contact.
I don't understand this. I just don't get it. I don't understand why I'm supposed to think this is entertaining or funny.
Or even good. Like, on any level, there's no benefit to the MCU for this show.
No.
Absolutely none.
None. Because even if they introduced an interesting villain some point in the next three episodes. Oh, God, 3 episodes. I'm going to do this 3 more times. They have no value to me at this point. Like, this show has devalued everything in it so much for me that I don't care if you brought Thanos back. I am pissed. They've ruined it. In fact, I almost don't want Daredevil in it at this point because I hate it so much.
It would sully his good name.
Yeah. Oh, it's so frustrating.
And I mean, it's not like they haven't had compelling villains that they could have used, right?
Sure.
Titania, if they've done something with her. I mean, Abomination is another one you could bring back and have his whole redemption arc be a load of fluff. You can use that magician, that crack magician that they used. I mean, the options are endless. They haven't introduced anybody. So now if they want to have some sort of wrap up to this first season, which I'm assuming there's going to be like 6 or 7 more, you have to introduce a villain, make the villain story, compelling, and have a confrontation. That's your 3 episodes right there. And then at that point, why would we need 6 episodes of fucking filler?
Yep.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Just going to keep petting my dog because the show ain't worth it.
Oh, man.
But honestly, though, can you find anything good? Like, even a smidgen?
No. I guess that's part... I don't know. Look, why do we have 6 episodes of shows that I wouldn't mind watching more of? And now we have 9 episodes of this shit that I want less than 6 episodes of. Like, why did we get 9 episodes of this? Like, I guess that's my main question. Why did we get 9 episodes of this? Because it wasn't worth 6 episodes.
No.
And maybe if they'd cut themselves down to 6 episodes, they would have written this shit better to have less worthless shit in it. It's not funny. Like, and I keep seeing online, like, I'll get online and just random shit will pop up. And I'm like, people find this entertaining? Like, because there's people saying, I love this show. And I'm like, how do you fucking love this show? This is the most pointless fucking show I've ever seen. I hate it.
I don't get it. Because, I mean, I wonder if it's almost like groupthink. Like, nobody wants to say they don't like it because people will drag them down for it. When in reality, how can you like this garbage?
Well, it's like people saying they like to eat healthy. Like, you like the way it makes you look. But, like, I mean, we all want to eat crap. We want to eat fried foods and cookies and ice cream. But there's always people out there that like weird things. So They're probably people that just like vegetables, and if you like that, then maybe you like She-Hulk, because she looks
they're
like
called
a stalker.
vegans and they don't shut up.
Yeah, if you're a
Which
vegan, maybe
actually
you're
is a
supporter.
great analogy, because the people like She-Hulk don't shut up either.
Taylor's making faces. She didn't appreciate that comment to all our vegans out there.
What, the vegans suck?
She's not a vegan. She kind of was at one point, but then I showed her the light with meat, and life is better for her.
Stinker.
No double entendre there at all.
I'm gonna get in trouble later.
Yes, you are. I love it.
But honestly, who do we have She-Hulk?
This is so bad. Okay, there was one shining light in the episode, and that was, what was his name? Kevin? The little dude that was hitting on her the whole time at the wedding.
Oh, probably. I don't know.
I don't remember his name, but I laughed at him because he was like that. He was like trying to be the nice version of the dude that tries to go to weddings and just get it on, like wedding crashers, and hang out with like bridesmaids and shit. That made me laugh. But other than that,
so awkward.
Yeah,
you need a different hobby.
Yeah.
So okay, let's pretend, JJ, that this show is going to go somewhere. Let's pretend.
Sure.
With them taking or trying to get a sample of her blood, is that moving towards Red Hulk?
It's got to be. That's the only thing I can think of. And there's a number of Hulks in the Marvel universe, right? So it's not just Hulk. It's not just She-Hulk. There is Red Hulk, and my only fear is this. So unfortunately, with the death of John Hurd, the guy that's normally Red Hulk, that character is not going to be around unless they recast him, which I guess they could, but they committed to him even past the original Ed Norton Hulk. So I think it'd be hard to fully recast him. However, they are making the Thunderbolts movie, which the cast for that is intriguing and very different than the actual Thunderbolts lineup. They announced it during D23, and it's got Florence Pugh, and it's got it's going to have the Winter Soldier, Sebastian Stan. So it's got some intriguing villains. Like you're going to see the Captain America that isn't it's Captain USA at this point, but the bad guy from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show, he's part of it. And the leader of that was Ross. Like it was Thaddeus Ross in the Thunderbolts was the comic. So there's an opportunity for Red Hulk to be introduced. That's the only thing I can think that they're headed with that. Yeah, I don't know what else you would have.
Because you have to imagine that they would at least attempt some sort of villain story.
Sure.
Right? I mean, if they don't, I'm going to really have a field day with this show if they don't. But where else could they go? I mean, they've already turned down several plausible villains. If they're going after her blood, they got to be doing something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if they say, oh, it'll happen in season 2, then why the fuck did they give us a season 1?
Yeah. God, I hope there's not a season 2 of this. Sorry, listeners. I don't think we're doing any episodes if there is. It's got to be Red Hulk. Unless they're going to change up Banner, because there is a point in the comics run where he turns blue, and he has like a different level of powers. It has nothing to do with She-Hulk, so I don't know how they would tie that in. But I don't know. Right now, it struggles. Like they can't have an Incredible Hulk movie again in the Marvel universe because the rights to have a standalone movie still are with Universal. So they can put him in the movies because he's part of the Avengers, which Marvel owns the Avengers. So they can have him in. That's why his whole arc throughout the Infinity Saga was the way that it was, because they could have him within the Avengers movies and they can have him in something that he's tied to in other properties, but they can't do a standalone movie because the rights to a standalone are owned by Universal still. So I don't know if you could make a Blue Hulk with Banner and have that disengage the Universal rights. I think it'd be kind of a stupid choice, but that's the only other thing I can think of that they're heading with is some of the other versions of Bruce's Hulk, but none of them are as appealing or even as interesting as just the Hulk. So, yeah, I don't know.
All right. Well, that's as long as I can stretch this dumpster fire out. So anybody else?
We might just have to combine the last 3 episodes into one. So
maybe it's rough. I don't know. It's bad. I guess that is my final thought is She-Hulk was a bad choice. And here, let me rephrase that. This show had potential because this character had potential, and they have a good cast. The writing's bad. It's just bad. And I don't think they knew what they wanted this show to be. Because I even get offended. Like the other thing I'm seeing online on top of this whole I love it is, well, they shouldn't do the fourth wall breaks because that's a Deadpool thing. She-Hulk has been around way longer than Deadpool, and she's always had fourth wall breaks. So if anything, this is the fourth wall breaks that Deadpool has came because it worked in the She-Hulk comics. So I don't like hearing that. I really think that this show and the character had potential because She-Hulk comics are funny, and she's an interesting character because she's constantly funny, but then she's an actual hero and fights and has good villains and interesting. She's part of a number of the Avengers groups, and she's been around for a long time. I just think that they went in going, how do we make this a pithy woman power film or show? And I'm all for that too if you do it right. But I don't even feel like they're doing women justice with this show. In fact, I feel like they're trying to battle some of these. They do some great things, like showing last week with Jen sitting in a courtroom as She-Hulk being told that her human form isn't good enough, right? And having that emotional damage, but then not being able to like
TikTok.
But then they turn around and ruin it with all these female stereotypes of the awkwardness of going into a wedding and your friends being a dick to you, that they didn't do it well, right? Or they don't. So it's just like, it's so working against itself, in my opinion, that if they had just decided, here's the story, let's tell it, but they're just all over the place. And it frustrates me because I think it had potential. Yeah, Matt.
So I'll say it's interesting. Rotten Tomatoes critic score is an 87. The audience score is a 38%.
That's because critics get paid.
Yeah.
They got to bump that up, but the people know. Common folk, defender of the people over here, aka the real Ginge. Don't watch this.
You probably do need to raise that by like 10% because it did get review bombed, and I don't know that Rotten Tomatoes removed them all. But it got review bombed because it's a woke, quote unquote woke show.
Fair. All right, so maybe we'll call like 50%, but still,
absolutely. I mean, still, it's not great, and it's a rough show, and I don't care about. In fact, I encourage. In fact, we're getting ready to do a review about a movie that I'm going to talk a lot about that woman power stuff, and how I full on appreciate it. If you go back and listen to previous episodes we've done, but this show isn't it. Like, it is not it. In fact, to me, it's the opposite of it. It is an absolute waste of potential in that frame and arena. So, okay, well, I'm done talking about She-Hulk and the flaming bagged turd on a front porch that this show has become. The only thing I can hope is that Daredevil comes in next week and saves it somehow, but I doubt it. It's bad. All right, Mattson, tell everybody where they can find us when we're not talking about this dumpster fire.
Yeah, when you want to listen to something that's a little better, like a lot of the other things that we're doing, like Andor and House of the Dragon and Rings of Power, and some of the other movies that have come out are just classics that we're reviewing. You can listen to us live on YouTube and Facebook for Rings of Power and House of the Dragon on Mondays, Andor on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Mountain, 8 p.m. Central, F Central Time, or 8 p.m. Eastern, F Central Time. Look at that. Word vomit right there. Check us out on What's Our Verdict reviews on wherever you listen to good podcasts. We're on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And from our social media, Alec is definitely going to be putting the emotional damage on TikTok. I'm sure JJ, and check us out at whatsourverdict.com. Email us at host@whatsourverdict if you want us to watch something or chime in. Charles is not shy about that, and looks like we have more work to do for him.
That's right. That's right. All right. Well, there it is. As always, we appreciate you tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Cinemagic out.
Whoa!